Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of American Soccer Quick Kicks. I am recording this on Sunday, the 15th, and United States and Germany played each other yesterday. Hope you got a chance to watch that. The U.S. did have a pretty decent start to the match, but ended up ultimately losing 3-1. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of give my reaction to it. First of all, the first thing I noticed was the lineup. I thought it was a little bit different. If you've been following this team with me, we've generally seen Jedi Robinson at left back, Serginho Dest at right back, and I've had a question about whether Miles Robinson would kind of keep his first choice starting spot at center back. All of that kind of got disrupted. Tim Ream also, he's in his mid 30s. You'd think he'd be aging out and be able to play at this level, but he continues to have strong performances in the Premier League, and he hasn't lost a step yet. I mean, he's slower. He doesn't not quite as mobile as some of our other guys, but he's also a veteran presence, leadership, very calm on defense. He got the start. So we got Serginho Dest on the left this time. And of course, Jedi Robinson is out with an injury, so we didn't have him in camp at all. So Dest got the start on the left, and we saw Joe Scally on the right. That's something that could go either way. We could flip those. Both guys can play on both sides. This time we got Dest on the left, Scally on the right, and Tim Ream started at center back on the same side of the field as Serginho Dest. And then Birmingham, Alabama native Chris Richards got the other start at center back. Miles did not see the pitch at all in this game. The other big name that was missing was Tyler Adams. And we knew he was out with an injury, and he is, a lot of people will agree, possibly the most important player on our team. There's nobody that quite has his same skill set. I think he's a natural choice for captain. He's a true leader on the field, but he wasn't available. So what that did is that opened up the possibility to put Gio Reyna in midfield. That's exactly what we did. Of course, we lose a lot when we lose a lot on defense when Adams is not on the field, but we gain a lot in offense when we can get Reyna on it. That's what happened. I don't know the storyline, the latest chapter of the soap opera between Berhalter and Reyna. What I do know is that he came on, he started, and he played the first half. We didn't expect him to go the full 90 because he's just coming back from an injury himself. But he did start as a forward-playing, attacking midfielder with McKinney and Musa in the middle with him. I love seeing that because this put left to right across our top line. We had Pulisic, Balogun, and Weah. This is our top choice lineup. I mean, as far as our attack goes, we're still shuffling pieces on the back line. Where's the best side to play fullbacks? What is our center back pairing going to be? But our midfield, it possibly is still Musa, McKinney, Adams when that's available. When it's not, you put Reyna there. I really love this version of our midfield. I mean, full respect to Tyler Adams, but I love having Reyna playing in the center role because that allows us to get another attacking piece on the field. We don't have to choose who to play at right wing, and if Reyna goes there, then Weah has to sit down. This time we get Reyna and Pulisic, Balogun and Weah all on the field at the same time, and I really like seeing that. I thought the United States, there's no surprise if you follow the game or if you've even looked at the scoreline, I thought the United States had a very solid first half for the most part. Christian Pulisic in the 27th minute. My goodness, you need to see that shot. You need to see that goal. Absolute world class, just a moment of individual brilliance. He got the ball on the touchline surrounded by three Germans, and he never passed it. He dribbled to the top of the box, took a fantastic shot from distance that curled into the upper corner. The goalkeeper was absolutely helpless. It is an all-time highlight reel. One of the best goals I've ever seen him take. If you study that clip, go back and look at it. It's a little bit of a study in teammates making runs to draw defenders out of space. You'll see. I think it's somebody. I haven't even studied that closely. It might be Weah. Somebody kind of runs near that little crowd of defenders around Pulisic on that touchline, and there are Germans that track that runner. And because you've got movement off the ball. All right, United States players without the soccer ball who are making runs into space, and they are drawing defenders with them. And that's the type of thing we're talking about. We're talking about off the ball running, off the ball action. By running and occupying space and occupying defenders, it gave Pulisic a path to kind of dribble out of that area. It's just a lot of fun to watch. This gave us the lead. We scored first. It was 1-0, and I think the story of the first half was one of we hung with them. Okay, they were on the attack more than we were, but I was very impressed with our defense. I thought that we stayed calm. I thought we stayed extremely organized. We were playing in our defensive third of the field for it seemed like most of the first half, but it also seemed like we were handling every threat that came along. I thought Tim Ream did an excellent job. He particularly stood out to me. So I was impressed with our defense. I was impressed with our effort. And of course, I was impressed with the goal. I started to believe a little bit. Things broke down at the end of the first half, and we ended up giving up the equalizer. But we went into halftime. I thought, holding our heads high. Like I figured maybe our defense is equal to this task. Maybe we can hold on here. Who knows? Maybe we get lucky and score another goal. Didn't quite happen that way. For the most part, it kind of did, except for about a 5 minute stretch where things just completely fell apart. Germany scored twice within 3 minutes of each other. Both times it's hard to tell who's really at fault. Maybe one of those, Matt Turner could have been a little more certain in his movement. I thought he came out a little timid, a little uncertain. And when you come off the line as a goalkeeper, and you better end up with the ball. If you come out for it and you end up not getting it, you're usually way out of position. And that's exactly what happened on one of them. Unfortunately, that's how it ended. We lost 3-1. Of course, with these friendlies where you're allowed much more substitutions, by the time you start getting to the sixth or seventh sub and you're in the 70th minute or something, it's hard to get a true assessment of the team after that point. At that time, you're just looking to get some more faces on the field, getting some more minutes for people. And that's what we saw. We saw that with Aronson. We saw that with Pepe coming on late. It was Lucas De La Torre who came on at halftime to replace Reina. I don't think we should be embarrassed by this. I mean, that giving up goals within 3 minutes of each other, that's a little embarrassing. This is Germany, one of the perennial powers of world soccer, and I thought we competed with them very well, at least in the first half. I can accept this in 2023, but I expect more by 2025 or maybe that early part of 2026 when we're having some warm up matches getting ready for the World Cup that summer. This is our World Cup, okay? So there's no more excuses for youth or inexperience or anything like that. This is going to be the World Cup where this generation of players will be in the prime of their playing careers, and I want to see more from this group. The United States' best showing at the World Cup was in 2002 when we made it to the quarterfinals. I need this group of players at some point before their international careers are over to make it to at least the quarterfinals. Now they have at least two, maybe three World Cups in their future, this core group of young guys. But 2026 is really their best chance in terms of the age that they'll be. That's going to be their World Cup. And I want to see the quarterfinals. If we don't reach the quarterfinals, I will be disappointed. Last year at the World Cup, I just wanted to get to the round of 16. We did that. And we lost to a superior Netherlands team, although we didn't totally embarrass ourselves. But the Netherlands, teams like the Netherlands, teams like Germany, are teams that we need to be prepared to beat at the World Cup when it comes around next time in 2026. We're going to have tougher opponents in the round of 16, and who knows who we'll face in the quarterfinals. These are the teams we need to be able to beat. We have got to get to the level within the next 2.5 years of being able to have a real chance of beating teams like Germany. I want to see it happen. Open question whether we have the right manager in place for that. I think I've given my thoughts on that before. I'm not a Berhalter hater, but I'm not convinced that rehiring him for a second cycle was the best move. At the same time, the fact that we don't have to go through qualification and that we're an automatic entrant into the next World Cup makes this job less appealing for top managers around the world because it's going to be hard to find good quality opposition. And the best managers in the world typically are already employed. So it gets a little tricky, but for whatever reason, good or bad, we have Berhalter. And the challenge is finding good opposition. This is good opposition. All right, we can't complain about the fact that we got Germany and we're getting Ghana on Tuesday. This is the type of quality opponent we want, and facing these teams of this caliber might mean we take some L's, but I'd rather face the teams like this and lose a few games and get our guys seasoned, matured, blooded for battle, and I want to see us start to get better results in this before the cycle is over. I want us to go in prepared. We need to be a better team in 2026 than we are right now. I can accept this result in 2023, but it's time to see improvement. There's no more excuses. I will be disappointed with anything less than a quarterfinal showing in 2026. So I want us to be able to compete better with teams like Germany and teams like the Netherlands. Anyway, this was a good match. I don't think it was totally disastrous except for that one 5-minute stretch. You could say 3-minute stretch in the second half. You just, it's like, if it wasn't for that, we could have ended in a tie, but it was the first half. I was really happy with the first half, and that's probably the best case scenario. What we saw in the first 40 minutes of this game was probably the best case scenario of what we can hope for from our team at this point in time. Anyway, if you haven't seen that Pulisic highlight, make sure to find it online, check it out. It is fantastic. We are playing again on Tuesday night, prime time, on TNT and Spanish language Peacock against Ghana from Nashville. Watch that soccer game with me, and I'll be back to talk to you next time.